Hi, third graders. We are going to learn our vocab for our new science unit, Survival of the Fittest. So let's start with our very first word. Our very first word is one you've seen before, characteristic. Say characteristic. Good. You can see that word character in it. Let's go ahead and spell it. C-H-A-R-A-C-T-E-R-I-S-T-I-C. Whew, that was a long one. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Go ahead and do 14 jumping jacks for me. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Good. The word was characteristic. A characteristic is a feature that helps identify something. So if we're looking at these dogs, characteristics could be their fur color, could be the size of their snout, or their tongue color, or their eye shape. Any feature that helps you identify something. So when we're talking about our new unit about survival of the fittest, an example would be that size and strength are important characteristics for successful hunters. We know that those are traits that are good and would be passed down to their offspring, and that would help them survive. Characteristic is our first word. Next word is evidence. Get out your hand lens. Search for some clues. Evidence. Evidence is information that supports an idea. So when we talk about evidence for survival of the fittest, an example could be one piece of evidence for why a cactus survives so long is because of its long thorns. It helps protect it from animals who would try to eat it. Evidence. Your next word is the word individual. Say individual. Good. Let's spell it. I-N-D-I-V-I-D-U-A-L. Individual. Let's see how many jumping jacks you're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and start your 10 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Individual is the word. One self-contained thing or organism. So right here we see this white bird, and that is one individual. Each one of these ducks would be one individual. An individual is just one self-contained thing. So when we're talking about survival of the fittest, individual is an important word because a variation or like a change or a difference in fur color like this or feather color may give one individual an advantage or a disadvantage. So individuals who have variations or differences could be at an advantage, meaning they could be better off, or they could be at a disadvantage. Your next word is the word mate. Say the word mate. Great. Let's spell it. M-A-T-E, mate. A mate is a member of the same species. So see how these are both eagles, same species, but the opposite sex, so male, female, to pair with for reproduction. So member of the same species, but opposite sex that you would pair with for reproduction. So it's kind of like who you would be with to pass on your traits. So we can see the two eagles here. Female eagles will want a strong male or a strong mate who they believe that they could have eggs with or baby eagles with, and that they could help them survive and reproduce. Your next word is the word reproduce or reproduction, which is related to the word reproduce. Say the word reproduction. Good. Let's go ahead and do bunny hops as we spell this word together. R-E-P-R-O-D-U-C-T-I-O-N. reproduction. That shun comes from that T-I-O-N at the end. So reproduction is when one or more organisms bring a new organism, like this little baby elephant here, of the same type into existence. So it's when those organisms have new offspring. So reproduction relates to survival of the fittest, because when reproduction happens, it's really showing you that the best characteristics and behaviors are being passed on to offspring. Like if there is a bird who cannot fly well, it's probably not going to reproduce or have an offspring, and therefore only the birds who can fly really well are going to be reproducing and creating birds, new birds for the species, meaning that only those new birds are going to have the best and the most important traits passed on to them. Your next word is the word species. Aw, go ahead and say species. Good. Let's spell it. S-P-E-C-I-E-S, species. Look at these little cute puppies. Species are a group of organisms that are similar to one another, so we can see how they're similar, and can combine to produce more of their kind, right? So species could reproduce if they needed to, right? So it's similar in kind. When we're talking about survival of the fittest, if animals reproduce and are strong and fast, then they're going to help their species survive, right? Because they're making more babies if they're reproducing. So species is your word. Next word is survive. Go ahead and stand up. We're going to do jumpy jacks with me for this one as we spell it. Ready? Jumpy jacks for every letter we spell. S-U-R-V-I-V-E, survive. Survive means to continue living and remain in existence. We've seen this word before. When we're talking about survival of the fittest, this is an important one because it's in the word survival. So survive has to do with survival of the fittest because plants and animals have characteristics or features, and they have behaviors that allow them to survive, right? If an animal is alive, it's because it has certain features or behaviors that have allowed it to survive. So this polar bear has the feature of, or the characteristic of, white or very light fur color to help it camouflage into the snow. The last word is the word variations. Say the word variations. Good. Let's spell it. V-A-R-I-A-T-I-O-N-S. Variations. That shun comes from the T-I-O-N. And I know it's plural because there's an S at the end. Variations. Variations are just differences among objects or organisms. So we can see that there are variations among these three dogs in regards to their fur color, right? They're different in their fur color. When we're talking about survival of the fittest, certain variations, so certain differences, will make it harder for some animals to find mates and reproduce and ultimately survive. So if they don't have good characteristics or good behaviors, those variations, those differences could result in them not being able to find a mate or potentially even dying. All right, we are going to end there. Those are our vocab words. Oh, perfect timing. My lights turned off. Have a wonderful rest of your day.